Beep beep, what is up ninjas? My name is Sam World and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create these gnarly, these huge 808 bass lines that we can use for house music like tracks in Dirtybird, Chris Lake, Walker and Royce. It's used in G House as well, and maybe you can find a way to use it in some other genre or hip hop or trap. But today I'm going to teach you guys how to make it. We're going to go through everything that we need to do to get it to sound good for house, and I'll go and show you the hip hop. So for this tutorial guys, we're going to be utilizing Silent 1, and you can do this in any other synth as long as you know the techniques and the process of making these type of sounds. And it's not that hard. I think the harder thing is going to be in mixing it into your track, especially if you don't know that if you're going to be going with an 808 style bass, you're going to need a shorter or smaller kick, because the longer that kick sticks around, the longer you have to sidechain your bass. So with that being said guys, let's get straight into this tutorial. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram, make sure to check it out guys. I like to post a lot of funny educational content for you guys. Here's a new one I posted yesterday talking about the SSL EQ from Waves and how to use it to get your bass lines to dump a little bit better, how to get your leads to dump better just from the idea of boosting the right parts. And I'll make a separate video for this kind of post guys that I'm going to do in the future for this channel, but for now let's get straight to this tutorial.
Alright fam, so here we are inside of Silent where this is going to happen. Now keep in mind, if you're a smart producer, you'll be able to translate this to any synthesizer out there, because at the end of the day it's always going to be the same programming. The only difference is, each synthesizer is going to have something about it that will give you certain vibes. Like in Serum we'll have OTT, we can apply different kinds of distortion, different wave tables, like more experimental stuff, while in other synths, it might just be the same or it might have a different tonality in it. So the first thing is we need a sine wave. That's what we're going to go with. It's going to be one of the purest waveforms. It's a virgin. It hasn't been corrupted. It hasn't been trashed. It hasn't been smashed. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the fundamental. Now the key here is to have a decay, low sustain. You don't have to put the sustain down to 0. You can have it up a little, but we're also going to give it a bunch of release, so that way. Let's put the volume up. You get the idea there. Now if I have some release here and I hold down the note, my decay will go down to that release volume, and it's going to stay there until I let go, and then the release kicks in. So you can kind of say, okay, he is right by moving this knob up and down. All right, so you get that there. All right, so I'm going to opt for that. Now, we are going to put mono legato on this because bass notes overlapping is it never sounds good. So if I show you an example, and let's just start. It's like a fucking mess, all right? So you need to have that. So the synth knows, all right, let me cut this one out. It's going to gate it off, let's say, and then we can move on to the next note without having those overlappings. Now, there is a place for that, but not in this tutorial, baby. All right, so once we have that, guys, and let's get rid of distortion again. That's a boomy 808. And that will work for a track. And with release, you're going to control how long it lasts, and with decay, you can control how punchy it is. It sounds fucking nice, as you guys can see. So from there, guys, some 808s, you're going to want to add this pitch envelope down at the bottom here, which, I've shown it a lot, and you can use this for leads as well to give it more of a punch. So that's what we're going to do. This is where you're going to decide, Fisher has that 808, but my 808 is going to be clickier. So you're going to, you want that clickiness. That's where you're going to do it. With decay, you control how long. So play with the black knob, play with the black slider to get it to where you want. And it does sound like a kick, I understand. And let's say you want a long one. You get the idea, man. So from here, we can apply distortion to the sine. Now, like I said, the sine's a virgin. Now we're going to get rid of that. We're going to pop the cherry, and we're going to give it some upper harmonics with any type of distortion you find fits it. Hopefully nothing too big. And then we start to get more of the dirtier stuff. Let's release. And then we can get the long one. And then overdrive. All right, so the other cool thing here, guys, is as you guys know, sine waves are super pure, but the other thing is you can also use the other unpure waves, the ones that are a little bit dirtier, the ratchet at the club. So if I go with, let's say, a square, which is the most popular wave to use for bass lines, especially in Dirtybird, and we low pass it, we get something that sounds like a sine that got distorted if you think about it. So we can use different wave tables. but they're not going to be as heavy as a square, and it's not going to be as smooth as the Sine. So that's what you got to keep in mind. You have options out there, my dude. You want the club girl, which is the square, or you want the church girl, which is the Sine, which will always be loyal with that one Sine Wave. It's only had one partner, while if you look at the saw or square, it's going to have a bunch of little partners and a bunch of little, you know, you get my drift there. Okay, so with that being said, I like my Sine, and I'm going to pollute it, take it out to a club, you know, give it a little bit of some drift. So we get polluted. Now from there, we can have that, and now let's add like a 909 so we can see how this works, just to see how it's gonna sound like in that environment, so you guys can see that it works, and you guys can do a lot of various different vibes as you guys saw from that. Now, making your own 808s is awesome experience because you can get unique with it. A simple little thing that you might do accidentally is the key to having a more unique 808. And that's what I like about making your own 808s. Now, a lot of the 808s you buy out there in sample packs and in like contact samplers, a lot of them come processed already. That's why they sound different. That's why they sound good to you, because the person or the company that released them, of course, want them to sound good out of the box, so they process them for you. So in future videos, I'm going to talk more about processing these 808s for your tracks. But for now, let's just, you know, get that 909 there, and we're going to have that. Okay, 124 as we already know. And then we're just going to lay down a beat and end the video, guys. So let's see if we can do something cool. So we're going to be down here. And, you know, the key with the 808 is you don't want it to hit with the kick that often, because you are going to have to sidechain it heavily. You guys get the idea there with that, and you can do a lot with that. Let's say you want to have the 808 do like these really cool glides, mono legato, end mode up, so that way you can overlap them and you can get that vibe if you want. Now I can go like this to give that more of a, you know, the bass hits with the kick. Just make sure you sidechain properly with another full tool or something, so that we don't have fighting frequencies, you know, and that's how we're gonna get something like that's a little bit different. And then so again, you know, from there, just add, you know, the 909 flavor to this, so that offbeat hat that they tend to use a lot in every Dirtybird song. Now you know how to do them, and now just play around with it. No distortion. Get that dirty square. But you guys get the idea there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to be making a lot of Dirtybird tutorials, because at the end of this month, at the end of July, guys, I'm releasing a Dirtybird Soundbank with 150 Silent One sounds. It's going to be the ultimate pack for Dirtybird. Of course, I got the samples there, because you can just use the 909 drum machine, my dudes. But it's going to have effects, leads, bass line. So be ready for it. And with that being said, ninjas, you guys take care. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow or another day for a brand new video.